Spoiler alert, this is the best Windows laptop that I've ever owned, and I'm really excited to talk about it, so let's just jump right into this.
Now everyone wanna be inside. Want smoke but they burn no flame. They talk but they never got inside. On the curb when we switch both lanes. They run around front and they disguise. Never run up on this guy.
Before we get into this video, if you like what you see, please consider subscribing or becoming a channel member to help support the channel. It really helps. Leave a comment, leave a like, or a dislike if you didn't like the video, and let me know what I can improve on in the future. Also, consider following me on Instagram for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. If you guys want to enter that competition, subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Instagram. Let me know that you've entered in the comments below, and I will pick a winner at the end of each month. The first thing I noticed when unboxing the Alienware M16 R2 is just how premium it felt. The solid aluminum top and the aluminum bottom really set the tone for the rest of the build. And the soft touch material that they use by the trackpad is chef's kiss. The keyboard itself is one of the best keyboards. However, I do have a small complaint, which is that they don't offer the mechanical keyboard that comes with the X16. Unfortunately, that's not an option. However, because this keyboard is so good, I'm not too upset about it. The trackpad is also fantastic, though it's not the best trackpad I've ever used. My MacBook definitely beats it out, and I do wish it were a glass trackpad like in the X16, but it's still more than sufficient and very responsive. There's tons of ports located at both the back and sides of the machine, so there's no shortage of port selection there. Another thing that I really appreciate about this device versus a Mac is it's upgradable. I can upgrade the RAM, I can upgrade the SSD. There's 2 available NVMe SSD slots. I really appreciate that. Right now I only have 1 terabyte because it's all I need, but as I install more games, I'm going to double or maybe even triple the storage. And I love having the ability to do that. It's incredible. I also purchased more RAM so I can upgrade it to 32 gigabytes. I just dropped it. Although all the testing I've done is with 16 gigabytes and it's performed more than sufficiently in all of the games and everything that I've played. The 32 is really just more of a future-proofing sort of thing. The lighting on the Alienware M16 R2 is fantastic as well. They did remove the thermal vent at the back with the round lighting, which honestly, I do like that lighting, and I was a little bit upset that it was gone initially, but after having this in my hand and seeing it in person, I can honestly say that there's still a lot of RGB here. It looks really good. When you want it to be in your face, you can make it that way, or if you want it to be a little bit more understated, maybe you're bringing it into like a professional environment, you can turn on stealth mode and have it just look like a normal laptop. And even though it still looks like a normal laptop with the stealth mode on, it still has a hint of Alienware, which I really like. Quick little story here. In 2015, I had an Alienware laptop. It was a 14-inch laptop that I loved. It was great. Performance was great. Keyboard was fantastic. Trackpad was awesome. Problem was it only gave me an hour and 40 minutes of battery life. No joke. An hour and 40 minutes. That was insufficient, of course, so I ended up having to sell it because I was in college at the time and I moved back to MacBooks. I kind of stayed away from gaming laptops ever since because of that battery life. This changes that. I am getting about 7 to 8 hours, maybe 9 if I really dim the brightness and turn off all the RGB. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but 7 to 9 hours is insane for a gaming laptop. I did not think that would be possible, but because this is a Ultra 7 with a 4070, it is efficient. If they would have thrown the 4080 and 4090 in there, which they've decided not to do with these models, I actually think that they made the right choice there. They sacrificed some of the performance for a more balanced approach, and it works out really well. The one area I wish that they improved on a little bit was the screen. On paper, this has 300 nits, which is nothing, right? That's not great, but it actually measures closer to 380 nits, which is about 400, and still not great, but not awful. In my use case, I never had one instance where I was like, this isn't bright enough, I need it to be brighter. When this laptop first came to me, I actually had to reinstall Windows just to get Alienware Command Center working. Everything else I tried didn't work. By the way, I'm an IT professional. I understand how computers work, and I still struggled with the installation of this software. So I had to reinstall Windows, which was a massive bitch on this computer because one, I had to get the Intel storage drivers. Not a big deal, but I had to get the Intel storage drivers in order to recognize the drive, in order to reinstall Windows. I was trying to remove Windows like as you normally do within the Windows recovery, and that wasn't working. So instead, what I had to do was pop open DiskPart, which is a utility in the command line that you can use to wipe disks and reformat them. And I was just thinking to myself, man, like if a 12-year-old got this laptop or someone that wasn't tech savvy and they didn't know how to do any of this and Alienware Command Center wasn't working, that would be a huge bummer. Worst experience unboxing a laptop that I've ever had. But because after everything's working, it's working really well and the laptop's great, I'm willing to overlook it. Although quality control is definitely something Dell should reconsider because that was a bad experience. Of course, this being a gaming laptop, you might be wondering, how does it work in terms of gaming? what's the performance like, thermals, all that stuff. And I'm happy to report that while I was getting about 90, 95 for CPU temps in all of my games that I was playing, fan noise, while present, not too bad. It's very deep too, so it's not very distracting. Plus, most people have headphones in when they game. A lot of the times I didn't. I was just playing like Battlefield on the couch. It didn't matter. It didn't bother me. I'm playing in balanced mode. I didn't really find a need to go to performance or anything else because you get higher fan noise and you only get about 5 to 10 frames per second more. It's just not worth it for me, but the performance is incredible. Battlefield, I was getting like 120 to 140 frames per second, 2K mixed between high and ultra settings with the DLSS at quality. And I could have boosted that to something higher and it would have given me even more frames per second, but I don't need that because again, it's 120 hertz refresh. So let me take that back. It's 240, but I had it set to 120 to help the battery life because I personally can't really see a big difference between 120 and 240. As long as it's not on 60, we're good. So yeah, that's something you can do if you want to save battery life. I was really happy with the performance. The thermals were great. Played games like Killing Floor, Rainbow Six Siege, Counter-Strike, Battlefield, all of them, it just crushed, no problem. One thing Alienware absolutely nailed is the portability. I have a 14-inch MacBook Pro and it's really heavy, it's really dense, and obviously it's a smaller footprint because it's 14 versus the Alienware 16, but for whatever reason, the Alienware 16 feels more portable. Like I can just pick it up and go and it's so much easier and so much nicer to carry. I can't really explain why, but that's just the case. When I'm moving from the couch to the desk to the bed, I know it's only a few steps, but like it's really nice to have a light portable laptop that also doubles as a full-on workstation. It's so cool. And the overall aesthetics I love too. If you can't tell by looking at it, it is a really nice looking laptop that is both in your face with the RGBs on and very understated and professional when the RGBs are off. I love that. I think it's brilliant that they took that approach. So there you have it. That's sort of my general review. If you guys have any questions or any concerns or feedback, constructive or otherwise, I don't care. Just leave it in the comments and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. I'm usually pretty decent with responding. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope to see you guys in the next one. So yeah, peace out and I'll talk to you guys later.